You listen to a Fight Night special on talkSPORT from Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. I'm Adam Catterall. Pleasure to be with you. Gareth A. Davies back in on the show. And check this out. I didn't expect this week, but I'm absolutely delighted that it's happening. A little bit of a little special treat for everybody who is listening to the show, not only listening to the show, but watching it as well on the live stream on YouTube, because Chris Eubank Jr. is in Saudi Arabia and very kindly given up a bit of time on his Friday evening to come and join us and have a little bit of a chinwag. How are you, Chris? You well?
Very well, very well. Enjoyed my first day in Saudi. Yeah, it's a hell of a city. It's very hot, but it's a great atmosphere, man. Everybody's really up for this fight that's coming up, and yes, I think it's going to be a special night tomorrow. Listen,
you've got an absolute cracker coming up as well with Conor Benn. We're going to get to that in a minute, but I want to pick your brains on this one at the weekend between Alexander Usyk and Anthony Joshua. I know you're a student of the game. How do you see this one going, and what are the paths to victory for both of these gentlemen?
I mean, for Usyk, it's I think it's a case of if it's not broke, don't fix it. He's coming at the same weight. I don't think he needs to change anything. Everything has to be changed by Anthony. He has to go in there with a different mindset, a different game plan, a different strategy, and learn from his mistakes. And I think he can do that. Obviously, he showed he can adapt and improve after a loss with Ruiz. He did that, and I see no reason why he can't do that against Usyk. He's got the physical attributes all in his favor: bigger, stronger, heavier, more powerful. There's no reason why he can't win. It's all mental with him. If he brings if he goes in there and imposes his physical attributes on Usyk, I think he can take him out of there. If he goes in there and tries to outbox the boxer like he did last time, then it's going to be a rough night for him. He needs to use his physical strength to his advantage.
You are a fighter that seems to like the fire. If it does get rough in a particular fight, you seem to like walking forward into that in order to impose yourself on a fight. Do you think that Anthony Joshua still has that in him? If he does get tagged early doors in the fight tomorrow, do you think he will still want to walk in to the fight to get his work off and hopefully get the victory?
I think so. I don't think a fighter ever loses that. I just, before I came here, watched him versus Dillian Whyte. That's the type of energy, the type of firepower, the type of, recklessness even that he needs to come into this fight with. Take a shot and stick your tongue out. Get on this guy, rough him up, hurt him, show him no respect. Just like he did in those early rounds against Dillian Whyte. That's what you need. That's what I think would be a key to victory for him tomorrow night.
Do you think there was a? Do you think the growth of Anthony Joshua and him wanting to outbox Alexander Usyk the first time, when a boxer moves into another phase of their career, and you can say that was almost the second or third phase of his career, that you can forget who you are and what he really needs to rediscover is being himself in this fight.
Yeah, I mean, I think every fight presents their own challenges. He tried to fight Ruiz, and that didn't work out for him. So then in the second fight, he boxed Ruiz and he beat him.
But was he gun shy? That's the accusation, that he looked a bit gun shy.
Was he gun shy? I wouldn't say so. I think he knew the strategy that he needed to employ to win, and that's exactly he followed it. And it's the reverse. The roles are now reversed here.
To try and bully him.
He tried to box the boxer in this one. He has to do the opposite now. He has to go in there and go to war. And I don't see any reason why he cannot do that.
Do you think he has to get this job done in the first, say, 7-8 rounds? If Usyk's still there again in this fight in rounds 8, 9, 10, are we looking at trouble for him?
I don't know. That's.
Or does it depend how the fight goes?
Yeah,
really?
I mean, I'm not going to say that he has to get the job done in the first 7 rounds.
But can he win on points? In that case,
yeah, I think he can.
Okay,
if he's dominant early on, and Usyk has got a great gas tank. So if he wins the early rounds and then maybe loses a few at the end, and then can come on strong at in the final rounds. Yeah, he can win on points. Absolutely, he can win any way he wants. But I just think that aggression, fearlessness, maybe a little bit of recklessness is needed. Dominate those early rounds, impose the strength, take the spirit out of him. He let Usyk's spirit run free for too much of the last fight.
Yeah, he let him dictate the fight in lots of ways. Have you spoken to AJ in the build-up at all? You are close friends.
Yes, we are, and no, I haven't, because I know what it's like, preparing for a big fight, and the last thing I want is, and it happens, people are always just constantly contacting you. I don't want to be another one of those guys, and I know he's got a million people trying to talk to him. I know how focused he is. I don't want to be another guy that's just bothering him. I've let us do his thing. I know he knows what he needs to do, and I'll definitely be there to see him after the fight.
What's your gut instinct regarding the prediction?
I think he can win. I've said it. I think he can win if he employs the right tactics. So I'm not gonna say he's definitely gonna win or Usyk's gonna win, or it's all about game plan. It's all about mindset, which and I think he has that. So I think that if you're gonna say who's gonna win, I would say Anthony Joshua's got a great chance of winning. I don't know. Somebody told me today that he's actually a favourite in the bookies. Is that true?
No,
I don't think
Usyk's
he's
the favourite.
Yeah, Usyk's the favourite.
Yeah, I knew that was wrong. But I mean, it's gonna be a great fight. Either way, it's gonna be an amazing fight.
Who's the favourite out of you and Conor Benn then?
You tell me. I mean, I hope it's me, but that's it's another very interesting situation we've got where a lot of people have a lot of strong opinions.
Have some of those opinions surprised you?
Absolutely. I'm shocked at some of the language I'm hearing from well-respected people in the sport on the ways that he's going to beat me. But I love it. I love that. I don't want it to be all one-sided.
There's a lot of jeopardy against you in this fight, isn't there?
I mean, like I said, I've got everything to lose here. He has nothing to lose. He can only gain from this. Even in a loss, he's going to gain because he's building his profile. Me, on the other hand, everything is at risk. It's a very, very serious fight for me. It is the biggest fight of my career. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, it's hot enough here to lose weight, though, isn't it?
This is a great place to lose weight. I went for a little run along the beach today. It's perfect. Yeah.
I listen. We know that the financial ramifications for this are good.
Good is an understatement. But
yes. But why else take that fight at this stage of your career?
I mean, what other, listen, we're prize fighters. I've sacrificed, I've dedicated half of my life to the sport.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody can be upset at me taking a fight where I'm able to make life-changing money.
Someone once said it's a mug's game and that you're all prize fighters and you get in and earn as much and get out with your faculties. I think it might have been your father who said that.
Yes, he did say that, and it's the absolute truth. This is an extremely short career. This is not something that you can do up until you're 50 or 60 years old, like most professions. We've got a very short window to make as much money as we can, and then, most fighters are not. They're not experienced in any other way of making money. Mm-hmm. So, after their career is done, if they haven't made what they need to make, then they have to go and work a 9 to 5. And a lot of fighters end up with nothing.
Yeah.
They end up on the streets. They end up in in a home. They end up with mental damage and physical damage. So yes, absolutely. If you have to be a smart businessman in this game. So that is a factor, but it's not the factor. The main reason I'm taking this fight, as I've said before, is that it's an opportunity of a lifetime. It's something that's never happened before. This is the type of fight or the type of scenario that movies can be made about, you know. It's so unbelievable to think, you know, two legends fighting, two massive fights, the biggest fights that ever came out of Britain, and their son's fighting 30 years on. It just doesn't happen, and it will never happen again. I want to be a part of that. And so absolutely we're going to get it on in 7 weeks time.
Who's playing you in that movie?
Wow.
Would you go yourself, or would you get an actor?
No, you can't play yourself. I mean, you could play yourself, but that's a bit indulgent, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe a Denzel Washington or a Will Smith.
I like it.
Somebody like
I like
that.
it. Listen, regarding training camp, obviously you've been working a lot with Roy Jones Jr. Is he part of this camp for the Conor Benn fight?
As of this exact moment, no. I want my father to be in my corner for this fight. He has not accepted that honor or that responsibility yet, but we've got 7 weeks to get him to come around. You know, he's back in the UK in a few days, so I'll be able to sit down and really have a one-to-one with him and find out his mindset. I haven't really been able to talk to him too much about it, but yeah, I have high hopes for that.
What's his initial reaction been towards the fight?
His original reaction was, don't take the fight. Wait another year. Let it build. Get a few more wins under your belt. Let him do the same, and have it in a football stadium. And it could have easily been the football.
That'll
stadium.
be the second fight, though, Chris.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I wasn't willing to wait another year, because there was always that chance of a rematch, and if it's a fight that lives up to the hype, then we can get it on at Old Trafford in 2023.
But you spoke to me the other night, and you said the other point about that was you've already experienced some frustration in boxing politics and in waiting for fights. We had Flip Hergovich on last night, and he might have to wait 2 years for a world heavyweight title fight if Joshua wins and he ends up fighting Tyson Fury twice. You said to me, you know what, why wait? Because this opportunity may be lost if we both went our separate ways right now. And that makes sense, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Anything can happen. What? Yeah, okay, I'll wait another year, then the time comes and another pandemic hits. Not to say that will, but why risk that? And that the pandemic actually cost me a title shot against Charlo.
Yeah.
I've been through it, and I'm not willing to risk the fight not happening. It's something that the fans are dying for. As the tickets sold out in half an hour. It's a fight that has to happen, and it's a great time for it to happen.